Hello.
What's up?
Welcome back to our reactions.
We are Midwest Anime.
We are continuing our reactions to A Crap Guide to D&D by JoCat.
Again, recommend you go check out his channel. Give him a like and subscribe after you give us a like and subscribe.
And share with your friends, of course.
Obviously. Because your friends need to see this.
We're clever, I think.
We make ourselves laugh. And really, that's all we're asking for.
Yeah. If we think we're funny, that's all
someone else has to, right?
Laughter is contagious, so I'm sure we've made other people laugh.
There's a lot of things that are contagious right now.
Stop. Stop. Enough.
Good start.
Alright, so...
Which one are we on?
We are looking at Monk. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it.
It's a long intro.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Why? Because, bitch, you were taking too long. Welcome to A Crap Guide to D&D. Fighting is like a science that can be used for either side of the moral spectrum. It can be used for evil, like punctuating arguments, expressing a salty loss, and beating up nerds, or it can be used for good, like self-defense, artistic expression, and beating up nerds. And Monk...
I love the self-hate in this.
are those who have trained heavily in the nerd-beating up science of mixed martial arts, foregoing any sort of traditional filthy weapon proficiencies and instead opting for wanting to punch, bam, boom, slam, kick, punch stuff. You start with no armor because, like a barbarian, you have the ability to deflect and dodge attacks with the power of your unconstrained birthday suit. But unlike barbarian, you don't have to rely on the pathetic material world to explodify goblins. You have your knuckles. Martial arts training means you can serve up extra punchables for the bad guys as a bonus action, so no matter how you're doing, as Mama said, you'll be dishing out more pain-induced fistings than two lesbians who consider watching porn as a reasonable substitute for sex ed. But it's not all creature destruction. The monk is a slippery piece of work who's really good at it.
That's so great. Good thing this is past the first minute, because I realized that apparently we can't cuss in the first minute, or it'll get flagged. It'll get content ID'd. So, good to know for future videos. We didn't cuss in the first minute of this, but I don't think.
The video does.
Not in the first minute of the entire video. Not just the... Like, because this will be however long it is. So it'll be just in the first minute of this entire video. Not this video. The video we're watching doesn't count.
Oh.
It's the entire video as a whole, as long as there's no cussing in the first minute.
Interesting.
The more you know. Continuing.
Avoiding any oncoming fistings, like a millennial trying to get their life together avoids self-care by catching them if they're a fist projectile or dodging out of the way if it's an area of fists. As you grow stronger, you can translate a fist if it's punching in a different language and avoid any infections if the fister forgot to take a shower that night. As a monk, your shtick is the key feature, but since I can't come up with any way to make this section much funnier, and also because key translates to poop in Thai, that's how I'm going to refer to it from now on. You gain more and more poop as you level up, and you can spend your poopy points on various skills to do all sorts of things, like stun people, reroll saves, mask yourself and turn invisible, and any other number of crazy things based on which anime you want to imitate. I would recommend Kensei so you could use the dual-wield chainsaw shotgun laser earrings if it weren't for the fact that every other archetype was just cooler in every way, wearing fancy outfits and taking the time to actually learn how to fist properly. Oh man, what a tough decision. Do I want to use a pokey stick or do I want to fire Hadoukens and Kamehameha Blast? What an enticing decision. I'm really gonna have to think about it.
Don't stop where I look now.
And now you know how to play Monk. You're welcome.
That part is my favorite part of any of the videos he does. Just because it's out of nowhere.
I like the monk class, but that key feature is such a pain in the... Like, spellcasting is hard to figure out. The key features are just as confusing.
Really?
If not more. I played a monk once. He was basically Oogway.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me about that. Your turtle guy.
He's a turtle technically, and yes.
Okay.
His name was Sheepsec.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I will probably never play a monk. My backup character for when my character currently dies, or if we were to start a new game, is either a dragonborn or half orc paladin. So
I will not reveal my backup character right now.
No,
because
who cares?
Okay, fine. I'll tell you. He's gonna be an orc. Bard College of the Sword, and yes, he's going to be an orc, a full-on orc, not a half-orc, a full-on orc.
Yeah, I've considered making him a full-on orc just so he can have like a.
Half-orc's more useful with combat because they get the 1 HP if they go to 0.
Oh, that's right.
The resistance.
But with Dragonborns, you can breathe fire, or
one
lightning,
time a day,
or acid, or
1 time a day in a straight line.
Okay,
and it doesn't do that much damage. At low level, it's useful.
At low level, like...
It doesn't get stronger as you get higher in level.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. It's just really useful when you're low level. Like, if you're level 4 and you're going into a counter and you're like, this is getting kind of tough, and then you just go, blah, and it's useful. But, no. I've got the whole backstory for this guy already created. His voice is locked in. Everything is done.
You just need to actually roll for stats.
Yeah, and create the character. Totally.
Well,
and
very interesting.
DM approved already because I talked to him about it.
Cool. Well, speaking of paladins, the next video up is Paladin.
The bullshit amount of damage that paladins do.
Boy, I love the smell of justice in the morning. There's nothing more satisfying than knowing the good name of Sword and Shield has traveled so far and wide that not even the Pokemon games are free from their incredible, awesome influence. And it's about time, too. You think I created this series to entertain and inform ignorant whelps of great hobbies their miserable lives are missing out on? Fuck no. It was to enforce the mighty name of the one true weapon pairing that triumphs all others. And if anyone were to step out of line, I'd bring down the wrath of which tear-ass children tell their parents to scare them before bedtime. And then collect the aftermath of the pants they all shit because it makes for great fertilizer. Welcome to a crap guide to D&D. Do you want to tank? Do you want to fight? Do you want a class that'll instill fright? Take up some plate and keep the goblins inside, because you want to make sure they eat this paladin smite! The paladin is the first on a short list of hybrid-style classes, stealing a mix of features from both the fighter and the cleric, meaning it's better at physically painting the walls with blood than a cleric, but more gooder at grammar and spelling than a fighter. But it's also one of the few classes where role-playing becomes somewhat important. What? Role-playing in my role-playing game? They really should have put some kind of warning label somewhere. I'm not submitting to this shit. If I wanted to follow some sort of code, I'd become a pirate so that I could at least plunder some booty while I'm at it. Otherwise, fuck you guys. If you want me to play your game of ethics, you can kiss my shiny plate mail. Alright, fine, just follow the code and don't do anything stupid that'll cause you to lose your paladin privileges, like a spoiled rich kid who's upset that he doesn't get a 4th Maserati to crash. Like the other all-up-in-your-grill-style physical fighting classes, you gain proficiency with every goddamn combat-oriented item in the universe. And yes, that does technically mean that you can optimally play a paladin without a shield and not have to worry about being a less effective contribution to your party, but if you do that, I'm telling you now that you're wrong and I hate you and you're a big, smelly doo-doo head. As a resident big fuck-off bringer of divine justice, your job is to harness the power of holiness, or...
That was kind of the idea I had with my paladin, was that he was going to have a sword and a shield, obviously, just because like the way his armor was going to look was essentially kind of like Heathcliff in Sword Art.
The problem with
where he has the sheath for his sword is in the shield.
Yeah, that's fair, but the only thing that sucks about paladins is usually they're low stat, because like every D&D character has like a couple stats that are like 10 or lower.
Right.
Usually dexterity is one of those stats for paladins, which makes you unbelievably pathetic when it comes to like stealth.
Right.
And so if you were plate armor, you have disadvantage on stealth checks.
Oh yeah.
So you're gonna get like a 4 on your stealth all the time. Or as I'm
already bad at stealth anyway. Like,
that's fair.
You know, it would essentially be no different than my Goliath now.
Yeah, that's fair.
But just with clinky armor.
Oh, fair.
Instead of Kronk, it's
yeah.
Like
but smites are ridiculous, and
or whatever other wacky power, depending on what oath you pick, to have everything else die while they bounce off of your full frontal crusade like a turd in the wind. That's true for just about every combat-focused class, but the Paladin is especially good at it, what with having the aforementioned fighter-cleric combo skill set. You get multiple attacks, channel divinity, a free vaccination, casting abilities, more auras than that one silly anime that nobody likes, which means you'll be so jacked that your mere
Pause that.
muscle will find any
Okay,
nearby
hold on.
allies so that they look like a...
That was an absolute dagger into JoJo. If you didn't get that reference...
He has watched JoJo. I have not. I haven't gotten to it yet.
That clip is from the second season.
Okay.
It's the weirdest arc yet.
Okay.
The show is called JoJo's Bizarre Adventures because
It's
every
bizarre.
generation of the main character is named JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
And they get more bizarre as the adventures happen. So the first arc, the original Joe is Jonathan
JoJo. Oh,
Jonathan.
Okay.
Not that crazy of an arc.
Okay.
Then Joseph Joestar happens.
Okay.
A little bit more crazy on an arc, a little
Okay.
bit more power, and then the...
Voiced by the wonderful voice actor of Bon from Seven Deadly Sins.
And then the Jotaro arc, which is in season 2,
Jotaro Joestar?
is the one that actually was in that picture.
Okay.
That was him and his stand, which is his magical ability. And that arc is batshit insane.
I know you want to talk about it for the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hesitant.
I'm excited for you to watch it.
I don't want to.
I watched it. It's actually not that bad.
All right.
The
Well,
second season.
let's move on.
A typical character from said silly anime that nobody likes. And lay on hands, a pool of health you can use to heal yourself or give a single hit point to your ally because that's all they deserve for not letting the rogue check the obviously booby-trapped room first. But we all know the real reason anyone picks Paladin, and that's to never cast any actual spells, but instead use your spell slots to imbue your weapon with various flavors of smite. Because what good is striking down the heretics and heathens of the realm if it's not in the elemental attacking equivalent of your god sports team colors? You can smite with fire, laser pointers, brain freezes, sick bassy drops, and cheese! Cheese for everyone! Sorry, I meant force. Force is what it says. Stargate. And now you know how to play... Wait a minute, what the hell is that noise?
I don't understand that ending.
I don't either. I'm confused.
Moderately concerned.
If anybody understands what the hell just happened, tell us down in the comments so we can understand too.
100%.
Um,
Paladins are one of the more lawful characters.
they're the typical if you want to play a knight.
Yeah, that's
character.
exactly what
Like,
Paladins are. It's a good comparison.
If you want to play like a Knight of the Round Table style character, that's you play a paladin essentially,
Your
or
chivalry and charisma and just a
fight for God,
glowing arc of stupid crusades.
Knights of the Templars type stuff. But unlike fighter, you kind of have. It's not just typically, like you said with fighter when we looked at that episode, it was typically a human. This is kind of all races. It doesn't really have a specific.
A lot of people put like an Azamar to here because Azamars are fallen angels,
and they can have wings, and
it lines up with the oath stuff because you have like the oath of redemption.
I thought about doing an Azamar, but that's too easy.
Yeah,
No one. I thought about doing a fallen Azamar.
I mean, yeah, I guess people who play Azamars are dumb, huh?
No. That's not what I'm trying to say. Essentially, I would do like a fallen Azamar with like the broken wings, like the ones that look like skeleton wings almost.
Interesting.
I'd have to look it up to tell you exactly more about it, but it's essentially an Azamar that broke his oath to his god and was cast out. So I thought about that. Is that because the road to redemption is easy there. His entire life story, or his entire life, is devoted to redeeming himself in the eyes of his god.
Right.
It'd be like if you're your character somehow pissed off Paylor, and
I sat on the porch with one of his solar angels and smoked some dank holy kush.
That did happen.
In game, not in real life.
In game,
I
no.
don't do any of that.
No. Nah. Not since your junior year, but we're not going to talk about that.
Well, let's see.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next episode.
See ya.